Well, hello there. I'm Sam Peterson, author of 2 books, Chunky Transgender Junkie and Sugar, a Memoir of Craving. I'm an old gay trans man with bad teeth, and I love knives. I'm not here to rate them or tell you about the newest, the bestest, the fastest, the kapowest. I'm here to queerly share my queer love of knives with you. Like and subscribe, baby. Hey, headbangers, what's new? What's good? I got a beautiful knife this week that, at the moment at least, I'm quite impressed by. Gosh, I always do this, don't I? I put it in my pocket and then I can't get to it. This is the Giant Mouse Ace Tribeca in titanium and Magnacut. 2 metals you cannot beat. That is a kapow. Oh, Sam, I hear you say. Oh, Sam, 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 Sam. Baby, sweetie, honey, baby. Don't you know that Giant Mouse knives are all the same? Don't you know that? That each of their knives is an iteration of the one that came before it? Listen. I hear you. Jens Anso and Jesper Voxnaes have a very strong design language. And to the untrained eye, maybe those blades all seem to have the same shape. But judicious, contemplative eye will see this curve is slightly larger, that shape is slightly tilted, etc., etc. These designers are recognizable in a lineup due to this emblazoned aesthetic. For sure, 100, as the kids say. First of all, I've lived in New York. I lived in New York in the 80s. I don't know why I said I've lived in New York. Like, who cares? I lived in New York in the 80s and the early 90s, and I'm very familiar with Tribeca, which this knife is named after. Tribeca has like a gallery vibe, arty, strong on the kale in the poke bowl, but dirty because New York is filthy. I'm sorry, but it is. It's filthy and it stinks. With centuries of smoke and exhaust and packs of Marlboros smoked while discussing art, no doubt. This knife doesn't remind me of any of that, but it's a great size. Looky here. It's a heavy fucker. It's got a good fidget factor, which you know I love. I love a fidget factor. With this back flip and the blade hole. Nice, right? I appreciate that. And it's got a finger choil you can actually use, which makes me even happier. And when I'm happy, we're all happy. As an aside, it looks as though Jesper Voxnaes is at the helm of Giant Mouse now with a fellow named Jim Worth, who was one of the original guys. He's the CEO of Giant Mouse since its inception. I'm not sure if Jens is gone or whatever, but certainly his aesthetic legacy lives on in these knives. When I first got into knives, I noticed that there was an abundance of blades from these 2 designers. That fact alone made me not want to like them. That is a true tale. That is my story. That is my truth, and I stand by it. But damn it, I do like them. I like that big, wide, soft, Scandi style. Alliteration. I just do. I grew up on Scandinavian design. My father was very drawn to it, and so I learned to appreciate it I almost said an evil age. At an early age is what I meant. So it's no wonder I gravitate to it, and these 2 designers embody that aesthetic so precisely. You cannot collect knives without running into them. You can't. They design $5 knives. They design $500 knives. They are true knife lovers themselves, I imagine, wanting to make knives accessible to everyone. I really love that. While my vibe isn't budget, I genuinely appreciate that those budget knives exist, and more importantly, that there are decent knives at economic level for anybody. Knife collecting should be egalitarian, I feel, because knives are tools that everybody needs and uses. And no, I won't make a tools joke, but you can. I, I know I've told you this. I've been watching Forged in Fire, and they always talk about weapons, knives as weapons. That's not the way I think. I mean, I'm not a weapons guy. I really see these as tools. I use them every day as a tool. I possibly am a tool. I don't see, there it is. I wear tool. You know who else is a tool? My next door neighbor. We could start and end at he's a racist, but also this dude comes outside every time I go outside. I'm puttering around and he comes outside to see what I'm doing. It's wild. It's so desperate and creepy. I mean, it means he's like literally hanging out by the door just watching. Ugh. Blech. I know he does that because I've seen him as I'm pulling out of my driveway. I've seen him lurking at his front door, like eyeballing. So gross. But that is neither here nor there, said the lady trying to have sex with the invisible man. When I pull out all my yespers and yens and lay them all together, they are clearly unique. They are also clearly related, I think. They have this lovely softness to them, not to mention that these knives in particular are mostly all built in Maniago, Italy, where they crown everything. Any hard edge, they crown it, which I love. I love that attention to detail. Knife people piss and moan about Italian blades, saying that the heat treat is insufficient and they're too soft. Look, that may or may not be true. I've also heard they've stepped up their game, but this is all hearsay, blade goss, if you will. The truth for me is that I am simply not sophisticated enough to notice the difference between a 61 and a 62 Mohs scale, although I am sure that difference is profound to those who do notice. I'm just your average Joe knife guy. I like knives. I know enough to be dangerous, which is basically true for me in any aspect of my life. You should see me try to build something. I have observed that my Magnacut knives do indeed take a beating without losing an edge, but that doesn't take a genius. And I also know that S35VN is hard to sharpen. ThingsIknow.com. I am old and have also taken many beatings, and I haven't lost my edge, but my spine has softened, which helps take impact, and I'm less aggro in old age. If I were a knife, I would be L-Max and micarta. I'd get better with age and wear, and I'm pretty damn tough. What kind of knife would you be? What kind of knife are you? Love you. Peace out. Bye. Thanks. Bye.